This episode is brought to you by Olive and June.
And I'm a brand new fan of Olive and June because we're going to be talking about their gel polishes, which we're really excited to get. But prior to even this, like 2 weekends ago, Mats and I were out and he treated me to 2 Olive and June polishes that I painted my toes, and they look so good.
I love painting my nails at home. As you know, Olive and June delivers up to 21 days of flawless wear with a high gloss shine that won't chip, lift, or dull. There's no damaging removal thanks to their new peel off base coat and salon speed soak off system. Say goodbye to the drama of gel removal.
Olive and June's new gel mani system includes everything you need for a salon quality manicure in one box, and you can customize it with your choice of 6 gel polishes, which breaks down to less than $2 a manicure. There's a custom 5-finger LED lamp and the iconic poppy for easy painting with your non-dominant hand.
They also have a high-performance cleaner solution, HEMA-free, 15-free, and always cruelty-free and vegan.
I used to be a huge salon manicure kind of girl. Like, I was getting my gel every couple weeks, and I have to say, like, when I stopped doing that, I realized how much more of my life I had back.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I used to think that going to get a manicure and pedicure was relaxing, but I don't know what happened in the last few years, but
it was a sudden shift.
It does not feel relaxing anymore. It just kind of feels like I'm being pushed around and I have to leave. And that is why I switched to doing my nails at home.
I have to say, I think I'm probably the most excited for the peel off base coat, because that has been like the thing that has stopped me prior to this from getting into doing an at-home gel manicure.
Yeah, my nails actually got pretty damaged too because of all the scraping. And I asked him to stop doing that at the nail salon, and they're pretty resistant to that. So I like that I can be at home and, control that myself. I'm also really looking forward to all the shades that they have. They have 60 plus best-selling colors.
I'm so excited. CV red is like that, like perfect orangey red, which is like my favorite shade to wear.
Visit oliveandjune.com/blame me for 20% off your first Olive and June gel mani system.
That's oliveandjune.com/BLAMEME for 20% off your first Olive and June gel mani system.
I'm always looking for ways to show my cat how much I love her. And with Fancy Feast gems, I can pamper her whenever I want with a savory gravy on top of a gourmet mousse pâté. The pyramid shape makes serving simple, so all I have to do is peel and plate to make mealtime feel extra fancy. And with 2 entrees in every pack, it's easy to turn every day into the extraordinary. Fancy Feast gems.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for this day.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Don't Blame Me, podcast where we give you wonderful, amazing, life-changing advice to change your life, hopefully for the better, sometimes for the worse, or it'll stay the same. But hey, life is full of surprises. Embrace the change.
Speaking of, this will be our last episode of this iteration of Don't Blame Me. We'll be making some changes. If you were in our Patreon, you heard about it first. So, you hear about exciting things when you're part of the team. So join us. But the show, it'll be revamped. We'll still be giving advice, but it'll be a refresh. A little plumping.
Ooh, yeah. A little pluck tweeze, a little lift, a little glow up.
Yeah.
All positive. Don't stress. Don't worry about it. It's going to be great. But yeah, if you want to hear about first up, join the Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, we are still giving you the advice that will hopefully change your life. And that's what this whole podcast is about. So if you want to call in, you can write in. that is, call in, write in, and fill in a form. We, as of now, do not take handwritten letters. Maybe we will one day. Dearest Meghan and Melisa.
You can send them in. We rarely check the mail.
No, Melissa did. We still need to open that. Didn't
me.
Kira send us like birthday cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
Kira, I haven't even gotten them yet. Melissa has them both right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My birthday was in February. I don't know when you actually sent it because you did say this is late.
Yeah. We forgot we had a P.O. box, mostly because we did have to open the P.O. box just for like a different business matter. And I think we both forgot about.
I didn't forget. I've scheduled numerous times for me to go pick it up. I just never went because it's out of the way.
Totally. That's.
I tried to make it so it was central for us so that one of us could go pick it up. But like, it's out of. It would have been better if I just would have got a place close to me and then moved.
Well, it is. In general, I do avoid the post office and postal related activities.
Mm-hmm. I do too. There is a fee that we can pay where they'll just send it to us, but it's fine.
Yeah.
As it is now.
We'll get it eventually, but thank you, Kira. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I opened mine. Lovely. I've been waiting to see you in the live stream to thank you, but you haven't showed up to the last few ones, but thank you, Kira.
Yeah, not to accuse you of anything.
Mm-hmm.
But we appreciate it.
Yeah. So we do. You know what? If they did send it, because there is an option to open the mail and scan it, so we could see it. It's just sometimes I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't want them to see it. So
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, as of now, the only way you can do the podcast, maybe we'll open up to those letters, but we'll have to get better at checking it. So if you want to call in, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. And international listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. You can also type out what you need advice on and send it to that same email, or send us a DM over on Instagram, or fill out the form that is listed in the show notes. That's also listed in our social bios. And for all of those, you have to be over 18 years old, and you have to tell us how old you are. Not just that you're over 18. We need to know how old you are, because even if you're in like a unique life circumstance that is like different than people your age, we still need to know your age and the life circumstance. Like, it is helpful in us giving the best possible advice. And you've got 300 words to write it out. You also have 3 minutes to record your voice before you get cut off. Those are hard and fast rules. And I will also add that for the written version, we've done this before, but just to reiterate, if there's like something that is like important context that will, for the advice that is given or something, but you don't want that part public, you can always write that down at the bottom and say that. But if you do that in like the audio version, we're just going to play it. So if you need to tell us something, a little side note, like if you date someone famous and you were like, this person is worse, I hate them, whatever. We want to know who that person is. Mm-hmm. We won't share it with the class, but like we want to know.
Yeah, we need to know because it'll give us better context and we might have other information.
Exactly. So we won't share with everybody, but like you can include that in the footnote.
Yeah. Like the person that wrote in last week with the fabric stuff for But Am I Wrong?
Yes. That was important.
They included the place so we could go look at it, but we didn't say what it was in the episode.
Yeah, they included the specific cult.
Mm-hmm.
The cult of the loom. I think I'm bleeding. I bit my tongue.
Megan, you can't bleed from the top and bottom.
I'll tell that to my body. Anyways, shall we get into some advice?
Yeah, let's get into the advice. This one I'm so excited to read.
I'm not. I literally am making Melissa read this because I opened our document that has them written out, and I just read the first fucking sentence, and I'm scared about where this is going.
Hi, y'all. I'm 29 female. I'm writing in because recently my husband, 29 of 3 years, told me that I get too wet during sex. We've been together for 8 years in total, and I feel like we've always had great sex, so this really feels like it came out of nowhere. And the way he told me also really caught me off guard. He stopped sex, and when I asked him if he wanted to keep going, he said, I guess. Dropped that on me and added that it makes him lose sensation. Naturally, I was no longer in the mood, so we just stopped completely. He tried to make me feel better by saying he's glad he can make me feel good, but it also really didn't help. I grew up in a pretty mean family, so it takes a lot to hurt my feelings, but this really cut deep. How do I talk about this with him? How do I feel confident during sex again? Any advice would help.
Well, first you have to divorce Ben Shapiro.
I looked this up to see, we're not doctors, I want to say that, but I did look this up and it says that there's no such thing.
No.
Also, they're saying if like you do have a lot of discharge when you're not having sex, you know, there could be an issue there.
Totally.
But this, like, people are lauded on how wet they can get. And that's supposed to be like a compliment as well to a man. I don't know why he would want to have dry sex. We used to say all the time, good wet sex. That was a staple of this show. So
yeah,
like,
because we learned from a caller that you can, if you're not wet enough, you can quite literally rip a dick.
yes. Have your fluids changed a lot in recent times?
Because that's the whole thing that I'm like, we know our bodies better than like quite literally anyone. So like if something was up, like you would know. Like in general, when there are things like up with, you know, specifically like vagina genitalia, and that person is not aware of it, that is like that would be out of like you're dealing with like a really intense level of depression, and like you're not taking care of your body or listening or paying attention to the rest of your body in general. You're in crisis mode. But like it is not just a thing to be like, oh, this thing about my body that I have no trouble with only in sex. Is there something happening that is it is now deemed wrong by my partner? But there's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong. Like fundamentally, there is nothing wrong. There's something wrong with him. And I mean, this really does. He sounds like Ben Shapiro after like his reaction to WAP. But not to like, I hate that. Like, I don't want to say I hate this, but like it pains me to hear you ask like. What you're asking for advice on is like, how do I feel confident during sex again? And like, how do I talk about this with him? Because like, to me, this is so not your problem to fix because it's not a fucking problem. And like, I don't want to put something else in your head, but like, to me, this sounds like someone who is like trying to hurt your feelings and trying to pick a fight. And it's about something else. And as opposed to thinking about like, hey, is something fundamentally changed with my body? Because like, if something had changed with your body, like if you look on like, I ended up, remember that woman on TikTok who was like, I shower like once a week is a good time if I shower once a week. Like people are doing this all the time. And everybody was like, that's disgusting. And so then she challenged herself to shower every day. And she was like, wow, this is great. I love this. So because of that went so viral on TikTok. It also went viral in like the hygiene subreddit. So like I'll see posts on my feed from like the hygiene subreddit. And so many of them are people being like, how do I talk to my partner? I think they're dealing with some sort of issue with like a infection or something like that. But like if someone's like genuinely concerned about something, specifically someone who loves you, they're so careful about how they say it. They're so careful about how it comes across. It is not done in the middle of fucking sex. Like, so to me, I'm like, there's not knowing that sometimes it's unavoidable to hurt someone's feelings. This to me was an active choice to hurt your feelings. So like, I think you need to come at it from that spot of being like, why did my husband want to hurt me? Like, why did he want to do, like, why? What was the point of that? Because he wants to be upset with you and wants to be mad at you and he wants you to feel bad about yourself for whatever fucking reason. And I think that's what the conversation needs to be about. Not like, hey, you doing this really hurt my feelings, because duh, it fucking hurt my feelings. It's more like, why would you fucking say this? Like, where is this coming from? And like, what else is he doing? And like, where is this? Because this, again, in general, picking a fight like this, where you've done truly nothing wrong is, you know, usually an indicator of something else from your partner that they need to be able to come forward and tell you and all this kind of shit. And that might be an uncomfortable conversation, but like certainly do not fucking have sex until then. And like, I wouldn't be able to like move on with the rest of our life until we had that conversation.
Yep.
Like I'm not cooking you. I'm not doing any, like we're not, cancel your plans. Like we're fucking getting down to the bottom of this. Because I think intentionally being malicious and hurting someone's feelings is that to me, that's like the lowest of the low. Because like when we do that, when we're like younger and like, you feel hurt because you don't have the capacity to like explain how you feel. So you hurt somebody else. Again, when you're a child and then you grow up and you learn to not do that anymore because you realize that makes you feel fucking worse and it does not help the situation at all. That like I will hem and haw and stress over interactions I've had with strangers that I'm like, oh my God, what if they took that the wrong fucking way? And let alone to someone who I love and care about. And so to me, that's like the biggest level of disrespect. And like, I would not be able to move forward with like any aspect of the relationship until that is, we figured that shit out. And it usually involved like, you would need to like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Also, there might be a medical issue that he has.
Yeah.
That he may need to look into.
Or he's being red pilled.
This isn't a thing.
No. And like, I would be very curious about his political affiliation because the rhetoric of this comes from like a specific sect of the right that like claim to like want to have a say in so much in women's bodies, but also know absolutely nothing about women's bodies and like feel this ownership over women, but also hate women. Like this to me like is a really scary indicator of like how his feelings about women are. And like sometimes people get into relationships, people that you're like, okay, I know he's a little bit misogynistic, but he loves me. And like eventually, without a doubt, if that person hates women, you will be at the receiving end of that at some point, even if you've been an exception for a while. Oh my God, I'm so mad at him though. Did you not? I mean, you don't have to tell us because like by the way, I think you would be in the right and like we would not rat you out, but like he walked away from that unscathed.
I think that she was hurt.
In shock, too.
Yeah.
And if this conversation goes, I mean, like, let us know what happens. But if the conversation, like, does not go well, I promise you, your most confrontational friend is so ready for this moment.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm so mad for you.
All right, we're going to take a break. And when we get back, we'll get into the next one.
Fall is my favorite time of the year, and whenever it comes around, I'm making sure I'm bringing out my softest blankets, I'm making my favorite soups, really any excuse to use my immersion blender, and just generally making small adjustments in my day-to-day life to reflect the coziness and inherent transitional nature of the season. I love switching things up this time of the year, and that can include updating your makeup look. From a simple just gotta get out the door routine to festive fall glam or maybe even a Halloween look, Thrive Causemetics is your go-to for completing any fall look. Plus, every product is 100% vegan, cruelty-free, and made with clean, skin-loving ingredients that work with your skin, not against it. My personal favorite product that I absolutely recommend adding to your makeup bag if you haven't already is the Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara. It's the only mascara I wear anymore. I have it in a brown shade, which just feels a little less harsh than a black mascara. And it's a tubing mascara, so it doesn't run or smudge, and it just makes my lashes look so beautiful and long without any clumping. My favorite part, because I got so tired of working hard to get every last bit of makeup off when I was using other mascaras, when it's time to take it off, it just slides right off with warm water. And something I love about Thrive Causemetics is that purchasing their products does more than enhance your own glow. With every purchase, Thrive Causemetics makes a donation to numerous causes, and they've given over $150 million in product and cash donations to more than 600 giving partners, so it really is beauty with purpose. Whether you're doing a total overhaul or just making the tweaks in your life to feel in line with the season, complete your fall look. Go to thrivecausemetics.com/thrive for an exclusive offer of 20% off your first order. That's Thrive Causemetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/thrive.
Finished training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
Every story you love, every invention that moves you, every idea you wished was yours, all began as nothing. Just a blank page with a blinking cursor, asking a simple question. What do you see? Great ideas start on Mac. Find out more on apple.com/Mac.
We are back, and it's time for the next. Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I'm 22, she, her, and this feels like my first real heartbreak. I've had a few relationships before, but none where I genuinely saw a future. This one was different. I met my ex after moving here for college. We dated for almost a year, and everything felt right. Comfortable, happy, easy. Then out of nowhere, he ended things. No warning, no real explanation, just done. It completely blindsided me. I still love him, and part of me keeps replaying every moment, trying to figure out what went wrong. To make things worse, we're in the same friend group. So now every group hangout is painfully awkward. He's polite but distant, and when I've tried to talk about why he ended it, he just shuts down. This is his first real relationship, so I keep wondering if maybe he just got scared or overwhelmed. I'm in therapy, which helps, but healing feels impossible. I also deal with depression and anxiety, and this breakup has made both flare up in ways I didn't expect. It's like I not only lost him, but also the version of myself that existed when I was with him. So here's my question. Is there any healthy way to try and win him back? Or should I accept that it's over and focus on moving on? How do I find closure when he refuses to talk about what happened? You two have been such a comforting part of my week for so long, and I'd really appreciate your thoughts on how to move through this. Thank you so much. I say this with like so much love. This is like an unfortunate canon event. And like everybody has been through this. Everybody has had like a horrific heartbreak between the ages of 18 and 23 that has like fundamentally like can't get off the fucking floor. Like you are inconsolable. It is like your friend flies in from out of town because they're worried about you. Like this is, and I say that to like let you know that like none of those people ended up with the person who made them be hysterical on the bathroom floor. Yeah. This is something that everybody goes through, and it is awful and horrible, but it's also simultaneously like not only a rite of passage, it is a necessity to become an adult. Like you have to go through this level of heartbreak. And I think like we can view exceptions to the rule of like, oh, this person never experienced this level of like, you know, this person ended up whatever. Everybody, I would say like some people are front loaded in their life with like a bunch of shitty stuff to get to the good part. Other people get to be on easy mode and then shit hits the fan at a certain point in time. Like nobody can avoid turmoil in their life and in their interpersonal relationships. So if you're looking at your friends and being like, why haven't they gone? Like they will go through this. And you have to understand that when you look at happy couples and relationships, they are not those people. They are not the people who made you feel like this in this way. And it's awful and it's really hard and it really sucks because it is. Like it's not how you're handling it. It's not how you're dealing with it. And I say this to hopefully make you feel better. It's not because your relationship was so much more special or so much more different than everybody else who's been through this. Like your heartbreak is not unique, and that should feel comforting. It should feel comforting to know that like the reason why you feel this way is not because you are the only person who's ever experienced this. You feel this way because, and everybody has felt this way at some point, like, or they will. And it sucks, but closure, we've said forever, closure like does not exist. And the only real closure you ever get is when you're over it. And when you have finally moved on, closure cannot come from another person. And the reason why I think you're finding this to be so you're like living in the past of this, I think is the friend group aspect, which I know you can feel like so adult and so grown up at like 22, but if you're going through like a big, awful, horrible breakup and like you're so sad and like you're in a friend group with this guy and you see a future, I guess I would also ask you, like, do you see a future with these friends? Because like I could never imagine being a friend, knowing my friend is going through a awful breakup and then being like, yeah, invite him to the group hangout.
Yeah. I co-sign everything that Meghan said with the friend groups. Maybe they were friends before and then became a couple, which that's always a risk you take when you start hooking up with people in your friend group and you see these as longtime friends. Like I said, I co-sign everything Meghan says, so I just want to move into the next aspect. You should not be trying to win some man back. He left you with no explanation, even though he sees you all the time. He should be comfortable. You were in a relationship. He should be comfortable talking to you. This man is not emotionally mature. He is not the prize. You are. And I want you to see yourself as the prize. He should be groveling at you. I don't know what's going on in his life, but at the bare minimum, he owed you an explanation, especially because he knew that he was going to continuously see you. Like, you can't ghost somebody when you're still in their same friend group. No. If that's what he was going to do, he needed to disappear off the face of the earth. You shouldn't see him again. I'm wondering, though, like, you're 22. Hopefully, you're graduating soon, so you won't see, or, you know, I don't know when you started school. So you might be a senior this year, and then you won't have to see him anymore. But I need you to remember, this man hurt your heart with no explanation. So let's stop seeing it as I need to get him back, because you don't know, like, if there was anything that y'all could have done together to strengthen your relationship. This man does not respect you enough to give you an explanation. There's times where I didn't respect a man enough to give him an explanation, and I don't try to see him ever again.
Yeah.
So if you can't, I know you're in a point now where you're hurt and you're like, I just want to be with him. I see him all the time, but I can't be with him the same way that I was before, blah, blah, blah. You will get over this. You will be better. Your next relationship might also suck, but like, you can't dwell on one relationship where your heart was broken by a man that did not respect you.
Yeah. And if it's any solace, nobody at like 80 years old, after they've lived a whole full life, is like, damn, I really wish I would have gotten back together with that guy who broke my heart at 22.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. And like, perspective is everything.
If you're looking at it from that situation, it's because you broke their heart. And you're like, damn, I wish that I hadn't done X, Y, and Z, and I would have been a better communicator, and we could have made things work. No, you don't do this over the guy that does not have the common decency to tell you what happened.
Yeah. If you are in an because you didn't say, if you were in like a heightened emotional state and you're feeling very sensitive, then shut this part off and come back to it I need you to take this hurt and change it to anger. Like, in general, I need women to get more mad. Like, I need you to get a little bit more mad. When you are there, play this part. You will get over this relationship, but if you continue to tolerate this level of disrespect, which is hanging out with a man who ghosted you, who has zero respect for you, and like just walks away or flees when you try to have a conversation, as well as friends who are okay with you being in this heightened situation, that will stick with you. That behavior and that level of having zero self-respect for you and your feelings and all of that, unfortunately, you'll get over the breakup. That will stick with you if you do not change. If you do not put yourself first and put yourself number one and be like, well, I'm so much fucking better than this. Like, I deserve better than this. Like, you think you can ghost me and then see me? He should be so fucking embarrassed. And the fact that he feels comfortable with this is because you're also letting this happen. Like, you are also still going and you're still doing these things and looking for, like, it's just that pattern of behavior, unfortunately, will not expire with your feelings for him. Yeah. You will take that into other relationships and other feelings. And to me, that is the thing that's much harder to break. That is the thing that's like much harder to to get over, because if you let that behavior into your life, you will let poor behavior into every aspect of your life. And that's a lot harder to unpack.
Yeah. Next time y'all are hanging out, go to a bar and make out with another dude.
Yeah. And like
do it in front of him. Flirt with other men in front of him or whoever you're interested in.
And I also have so many questions for like your friends.
Like nobody knows what happened. Nobody else is questioning it. Like y'all haven't been around each other drunk and somebody's like, what the fuck happened?
And like nobody knows. Nobody's friend knows. And like when
nobody else is dating in the group and you know, he confided in one of these other dudes and then that dude didn't tell his girlfriend and that girlfriend isn't telling you. I don't trust this.
No, and I also really don't trust the fact that like your friends are still like, oh, it's no big, like they can still be. Are you just like keeping all like, this is not a non-tumultuous breakup. And so like someone knows something, but also if nobody cares enough about how you feel, then out with all of them.
Yeah. Because like my friendship group from college, some people fooled around, but nobody was in like a full-blown relationship with anybody in the group because that's weird. It's not weird. It just like, it makes messy. A situation messy. So proceed with caution if you're doing this.
Yeah. And the fact that he thought that he could get away with ghosting you while being in the friend group is crazy. It's even crazier that you're letting him do that.
Yep.
Like he should be so embarrassed that he's doing this. Asterisk. It's the fact that it is embarrassing that we have now switched where that embarrassment level is.
I remember when this happened in high school with somebody, which, you know, high school age makes more sense for this to be happening. But we did lock two people, very sitcom-like.
Oh my God, yes.
Closing two people off so they can talk it out.
Yeah, figure your shit out.
Yeah, because like we don't like y'all. Everybody else in the group isn't like this is fucking weird. Like we don't want to be around y'all because this is a weird situation. Everybody's just going on with their everyday life. No, fix it. I need your friends to be better friends.
Yes, I need your friends to be better friends. Like so much, and like I dated within the friend group so much in high school. My friends, still my friends. When we go, whatever, break up, all of that shit. Like that was, I had people pick sides who like I wasn't even that close to friends with, but pick sides to the level of being like, yeah, we're not inviting him to this. He wants, like there's like a big party, all the seniors. And they're like, well, Megan's coming. So this person's not invited. Normalize picking sides.
Yeah.
Because someone is right and someone is wrong. And if both people can't be right, both people can be wrong. And then stop being friends with those people then.
Right. This aggravated me.
Me too. You know how I feel when people are like, well, I don't have an issue with this person. So like, but no.
They're showing their character and you're okay with that? Okay. Cool.
I don't like how anybody's treating you in this.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll get into the next one.
Purina believes no one should have to make the impossible choice between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Big news. Sephora is now on Uber Eats. So if you find yourself facing a beauty emergency, like needing a last-minute gift, or you're just out of your favorite mascara again, don't panic. We got you. Order now and get $10 off on Sephora orders of $50 or more on the Uber Eats app. Order now. Offer ends October 30th. One order per customer. Additional terms apply. See app for availability. Delivery fees may apply.
We're back, and it is time for the next.
All right. This person is 23, she, her. I met this guy on Tinder about 6 weeks ago. To be honest, I originally downloaded the app for the ego boost. I like the tension and the little rush you get when someone swipes right. But then this guy super liked me, and I thought, okay, he's cute, why not? He's 25, really attractive, funny, and genuinely easy to be around. We've gone out several times now, and every date ends with us laughing until we can't breathe. I have a great time with him, and I can tell he likes me too. But here's where I start to spiral. I know we haven't been seeing each other for long. Keep in mind, this is 6 weeks, y'all. And I do not want to come across as a crazy girl who needs a label after a few days. Still, I like to know where I stand. So the other day, I tried to bring it up casually. I said, hey, I don't want to rush anything, but what are you looking for right now? He didn't blow me off exactly, but his response was basically, I'm just getting to know you, not sure yet. I totally get it, but part of me still feels uneasy. I'm not dating anyone else, and I want to know if he's seen other people. I know he's still on Tinder, but technically so am I, even though I haven't talked to anyone since meeting him. So here's my question. Am I crazy for wanting some kind of clarity this early on? Or should I just relax, keep having fun, and let things unfold naturally? He's sweet, funny, and honestly amazing, but I also don't want to end up blindsided. What do you think? Thanks. Love your show. I think if you're looking for a relationship, that's not too much to ask somebody on the first date, even before you get off the apps. If you want to be in a serious relationship, this is something that you should, if you don't want to pay the premium price, because sometimes, I don't know how Tinder works. I'm not on Tinder. But on some of the apps, like if you want the specific thing for what you're looking for, you have to pay the premium price. But you could put like, I'm looking for a relationship in your bio, or before you even go on the date. Like this should have been a conversation early on. And if you both have something like, I don't know, or still trying to figure that out, again, I don't think this is too early to be asking. I honestly think it's a little late in the game. You've been dating for 6 weeks and you've gone on several dates. Seems like you're pretty solid. Are y'all just laughing like hee hee ha ha and there's no romantic things? Because you say you end the dates laughing. I like to end the dates a little more sensual. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you having sex?
I don't think this is rushing though. You asked if this is rushing. I don't think it's rushing.
I agree. I do think we need to work on how we ask questions, because the question you asked is actually not the question you were looking for. Like, you asked him, what is he looking for? And you told us you just want to know if he's seeing other people. That's not the same question.
True.
Like, you have to be specific and explicit. And I think that like there is this dichotomy between like wanting to be in a relationship and like wanting to be straightforward and knowing what you want, but then also diluting that to when you talk to a man to like also to not completely rule them out as if they're going to get spooked by what you say. A guy who like, men are not that fundamentally different than like men are also looking for relationships. They are. And so this thing that it's like, well, this is my crazy girl brain. Like, how do I say it in a way that like makes it so this man won't want to run away? The man's going to run away regardless if you have a commitment or not, if he's interested or not. Like, that's just what that man will do if that's what he is going to do. But like diluting it down to being like, are you seeing other people, to saying, what are you looking for? I don't think his response is like crazy, because that is such a vague question where it's like, hey, what you need to do is, because again, the same way that you're asking him an open-ended question because you don't want to necessarily reveal your cards that would make him be like, oh, I got to run away. He's doing the same thing of being like, well, this person's not telling me how they feel, so I'm not going to be that explicit of what I'm looking for. Because what if that's not what they're looking for? And in general, the only way you're going to avoid this kind of thing is if like Melissa, like literally like from the fucking first date, from the app of being like, yeah, I'm looking for a serious relationship. And if someone else is also looking for a serious relationship, that doesn't spook them. If someone is literally looking to hit it and quit it, that will spook them. It will not, and it's not like well, maybe in 6 months, they'll feel differently. Nope. They will feel the same from day 1 to 6 months if they are not looking for that. You will never change someone who's being like, well, I'm not looking for that right now. But now suddenly I've totally changed my way. And now I see, and now I want to be in a relationship with you. That's book talk shit. Like that's not real life level shit. And knowing what you want from the start and like having that confidence and like having that discernment and that those boundaries, like that's sexy. That's hot. Like go for that from the start, because if you water down the questions you're asking, you're going to get watered down answers like this. And like, I do think that if you wanted to ask him because right now his response does not tell me if he's seeing other people. It doesn't tell me if he is or is not seeing other people. Equally likely from both sides. It also doesn't tell me if he's sleeping with other people. Is that also important to you?
Are you dating other people? You didn't say that.
I think she said she's not. But you said that to us. Did you say that to him?
Right. Like, and then like you're like, I'm technically on Tinder. Just because you have a Tinder profile doesn't mean that you're active on Tinder, but also you're still on Tinder.
Like, I think that like we need to stop thinking this as like, I mean, I hate men just as much as the next broad, but like, I think if we keep treating men as they're this foreign entity that is like so that we have to handle with kid gloves, you're going to end up in a really shitty fucking relationship. Like if you set the precedent early on that it's like, I'm going to kind of formulate and mold things as not to like scare him as if he's like a woodland creature who like can't be spooked. But I'm like, my God, this is a fully grown adult. This is a fully grown adult man. Like you should be able to tell him, hey, this is what I'm looking for. You should lead with what you are doing, and then letting this person know that for you, this is what you want. And then you have to follow through with that. And if that's not what they're doing, then you walk away. But I think crushes are dangerous. And once you start talking to someone, you start developing a little crush. I do think it's like, and I'm not trying to single you out and make you sound like everyone does this. I've done this, but where we have this little crush. And so therefore we can find ways to mold ourselves and like justify things or like prolong things of being like, I don't want to ask a direct question because sometimes you know the answer and you don't want that to be the answer because you're still having fun. And I think like you're allowed to shift and change what you are looking for if you're still having fun with this person. But if your fun that you're having with them and your feelings with them are conditional on a set of parameters that have not been established in this relationship, you are setting yourself up for failure. Like it will blow up in your face. Like if you find out that he's sleeping with somebody else, if that's going to devastate you, the more you develop these feelings, it's just going to hurt you more and more because it's going to lead to the same end. And I think like defining the relationship at 6 weeks of being like boyfriend, girlfriend, that's a lot for me personally. But when I was dating, I was very forthcoming with like, you know, the pacing of how I was with dating. And like, I was definitely someone who takes it slow. I didn't warn people that, hey, 2 months, 3 months, I wake up and I'd be like, never want to see this person again. But like, I wasn't trying to sell you on a dream and then completely rip the rug out from underneath you. But I think that you are well within your right to want to know if this person is seeing other people. And then I would ask yourself, because like, that's what you say you want to know. But like, I would get even to more nitty gritty of that. Like, if I want to know that, what that means to me personally, me, Megan, I want to know if you're having sex with other people. I want to know that part. I want to know.
Direct.
Yeah. And I want to know if you are dating other people, I want to know, are you going on first dates with people or are you dating other people to the same amount that you are dating me?
Mm-hmm. Or have you been dating somebody before? Like before we even started talking, because there could be somebody else.
Yeah. And so like, these are all very valid and fair questions to ask. And like, at any time, it doesn't even have to be 6 weeks. It could be at any time, whatever your comfortability is. But I think in general, if you don't feel comfortable being forthcoming with what you want, you can't expect somebody else to be forthcoming with what they are looking for and with what they want. You have to lead by example. And I think that is, again, like a very attractive quality. And it only rules out the duds, which were already going to rule themselves out eventually.
Yeah.
And it's easier said than done. I will acknowledge that.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll get into the final one.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey with American Express Business Platinum. Earn 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. Plus, enjoy a welcome offer of 200,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
This episode is brought to you by Nature's Bounty. Nature's Bounty believes your body is brilliant, naturally designed to thrive, inside and out. For those always looking for new ways to support your health from head to heels, Nature's Bounty has a range of over 400 vitamins and supplements born from 50 years of trust and care. Nature's Bounty. It's in your nature. Visit naturesbounty.com to learn more.
All right, listen up, nacho chips. Quiet down, crispy potatoes. This is the moment Velveeta's been preparing you for, and you're not about to crack under pressure. Today's the day to go all in on the drip. Velveeta's Heat and Eat Queso is the MVP of any game day spread, so stick by them, and you'll be golden. Now get out there and make delicious history. No tailgate party is complete without Velveeta.
All right, we're back.
I'm 26, she, her, and I've been with my fiance for almost 5 years, and we're getting married in May of 2026. Congratulations. Honestly, everything with him is wonderful. This is how I know everything with him is actually not wonderful. When you start like this. Exactly. He's kind, funny, dependable, and my family absolutely loves him. Here's the thing. He's an axe murderer. I'm kidding. I added that part. I love his family too. He's my best friend and my person. Here's the part that I need advice on. My fiance is 7 years older than me. 33. My fiance is 7 years older than me, 33. And while that usually isn't an issue, I've started noticing a pattern whenever we have serious conversations. We don't fight or yell ever, but when it comes to important topics like finances, wedding planning, or long-term decisions, I feel like he always has the upper hand. He's more experienced, more confident, and usually speaks in a way that makes me feel like he's right, even when my gut tells me that I am. Sometimes I just go quiet and agree to whatever he says because it feels easier than trying to keep up. I end up feeling small, like my opinions don't carry the same weight. It's not that he's mean or controlling. He's incredibly sweet. It's just that I find myself shutting down during these conversations and I don't know how to stop. I've tried being more assertive a few times, but somehow he still wins the discussion. And I hate that it feels like a competition. I want us to be equals, especially as we plan our future together, but I don't know how to stand my ground without turning every conversation into an argument. Do you have any advice on how to hold my own in these serious discussions without creating tension? I love him deeply, but I also want to feel like my voice matters too. So your fiance is kind, funny, dependable, and like lovely and wonderful and not controlling and not mean and super sweet because you keep completely shutting down in these conversations and avoiding fights.
You can be sweet and still be controlling.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in this specific instance, like you're saying that like he's not mean about this because you're shutting down. Yeah. If you don't, then you're saying you end everything with tension and an argument. Like the only reason his like behavior in specifically in these things is not becoming volatile because of you, because you're mitigating it, not him.
But I also just want people to know just because somebody's nice and sweet doesn't mean that they can't be controlling.
Oh, totally. I just mean specifically in these conversations, when you're saying that these conversations, like, you know, like he's not going out, he's not doing any of this because you're stopping it. He's not stopping it.
He is being manipulative and she doesn't recognize the behavior.
And like, in general, the fact that you're the one who has to pull this back and has to stop this, guess what that is? Not fucking mature.
No.
Not mature at all. And the fact that even you phrasing this like a winning thing, like that tells me that's the energy he's fucking bringing to this. This is like beyond a red flag. This is a stop sign. Like this is it's not even a yield. It's not a slow down. This is a Mayday, Mayday, drop that plane out of the sky. Like this is a halt everything immediately and Tell your bitchiest friend about it, and tell your like meanest sibling or your meanest cousin about that. Like, tell someone in your family who is not the like, oh my gosh, so no, he's so warm and wonderful and lovely. Like, tell the black sheep of the family. Tell someone who like has been the one who like has strong opinions and don't necessarily agree with everyone. Because you specifically saying that your family loves him, and the fact that you've automatically assumed this role of keeping the peace makes me think that that's a learned behavior in other parts of your life.
Do you, and I'm reading into this because I feel like this is exactly what you were saying to us. Do you feel like that because he's older and he's lived longer that he's always right?
He thinks he's always right.
I think that she also believes that because she doesn't push back on things that she actually feels passionately about too. Why aren't you pushing back? Do you not feel safe in this relationship enough that you can say and think and give your own opinion, and you're afraid that he's going to walk away because you have an opinion about something?
Yeah, I have to ask about your family situation, whether it's like religious upbringing, whether your parents' age difference, culturally, any of that. Because if you got together at like 21, 22, and he was 28, he's older than you now, and your family has like loved him from the start, that to me is like a bit of an indicator that there might have been similar dynamics at play in your home growing up, or within your culture, of that being a norm. That like, I want you to be really careful who you talk to about this, because I think like you're not saying you have any qualms with your family. And if you share this with your family, like let's say like your parents have a massive age gap and they like love that, and they're, you know, old school Christian, and like this is very normal in your like in just culture where you are. I fear that you're going to tell them something and it's going to be like, well, he is older, he probably does know more. Like he is the head of the house. And I think like the worst thing for anybody ever is to like lose trust in your own instincts and like no longer being able to trust your own gut, because first of all, that like it fucks you up like mentally and physically when you go against that like innate feeling that you have in yourself, and it fucks up your decision making in general. And like you can't live with that horrible feeling in your gut that something's gonna go wrong, and inevitably things will, because you're not listening to yourself. But this is like the big fucking reason why I'm like pretty adamantly against 99.999% of age gap relationships, because like this is in fact the dynamic. And like it does only show up in instances where there is conflict, and one person, the older person, will always win that conflict, and it will always be a competition, because the older person also knows that going into this. Like this is newer information for you. This is like you're discovering this. Your fiance knows this. Like this is, and being with someone who's younger, that is an advantage, is that this is something that they get to call those shots. Yeah, because we've seen it and heard it time again where an older person is like, I get to teach them. I get to teach them how to become a woman. I get to teach them, like, I get to help them grow up. Like they'll say things like that because they want you to be malleable. Yeah. And they're like, I don't like dating women my age because they're so headstrong. They're so bossy. And most of the time it's because they can't, women their age won't date them because they're not malleable in that same way, and they don't tolerate that. And when I say like I'm not for 99% of them, the age gap relationships that I'm like, I have no personal issue with. And again, like everybody's relationship's their own, whatever. But like, I would never promote that. The only time it works is when there is an additional power dynamic at play. It is either, and a self-awareness. It's either a, hey, I had to grow up way too fucking fast. I had to raise all of my siblings, and I needed to be in a relationship. I like couldn't date someone in their 20s while I was in my 20s because I had to fund my entire family. I needed to date someone who was financially, like there has to be an awareness of, I had to seek out someone who was older, who was more established in their career, because I could not have that level of uncertainty because I needed to provide and support X, Y, and Z. That totally, like, makes total sense, totally fine. I had to grow up way too fucking fast. That was an aspect of this. There's a self-awareness of it there. And then there's another dynamic at play. Like, I am very, very, very fucking wealthy. I'm very successful. I have spent my entire life around adults, and I have reached points in my career that my peers have not. And therefore, I have a financial upper hand or a success upper hand in my relationship that it offsets the age aspect of it. Like, there will always still be aspects.
Yes. And I just want to clarify, because someone has used this before when their sibling was underage and then said that they had to date like somebody in their 20s. I'm talking about Kylie, when Chloe said that about her when she was like 16, dating people in their 20s. Not that. We're talking about after you've become of age.
I'm talking like horrible, terrible story of like someone who has had to raise their siblings, does not have parents. Like, there are things that, like, it's like a life and death situation. Like, if I'm going to be with a partner, I need someone who can financially contribute in a way that my peers can't. And like, there's a level of awareness to that. And like, so I don't even watch this show, but like, to me, this is an example. But I might be getting some like details of it wrong. But Bronwyn from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City got pregnant really young in Mormonism. The family was upset, like super shamed, all of this kind of stuff. And there was all of the shame that she married a much older man who was very wealthy. And she was able to provide a wonderful life for her kid. And her husband, like, she really loves him. They get along really well. But like, yeah, without a doubt, there's a fucking thought process in there that you are actively seeking that. Like, I don't think she would be like, no, if I had not had a kid and like also had a horribly toxic family situation and circumstance, that it's like the age becomes a factor because the age is attached to a money, which is a factor, which is a security factor. Like, there are ways that works, but I think saying like age is just a number, to me, is not like an answer to that. There has to be an awareness of like how you end up in this situation. And it has to be, you're actively seeking that situation because like there's a need base. There's a need base and a financial security aspect base, but it's either that or there's another power dynamic there. And like, so to me, I think I'm so much less interested, and that's why it's so fucking ironic that like all of the age gap content is made by the younger women in these relationships. I'm not interested in hearing from the younger women about why they're dating older men. I'm not. I'm really interested in what the older men want to say about why they are dating the younger women, because it's not the same fucking reason of any of that. And like, it is the malleable aspect. It is the control aspect. And I think like there's a lot of people who will phrase it in a way that does not sound like that, where it's like, I love being able to lead. I love being able to take care of you. There are different meanings of the people who say that. And like, wanting a partner who takes care of you and supports you is like lovely and wonderful when that partner is 7 years older and like you can't have like any sort of like really say in important conversations and discussions because they know better. Saying that I want to take care of you is I want to control you. And I really like, and I'm so lovely and wonderful when you're doing everything exactly how I want. And when you're not, I'm going to be awful. And I cannot stress how much you need to not marry this man, because when you are married, he will be able to make all these decisions without your input because he is your husband.
Yeah.
Like financial, kids, religion, everything.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining us. All right. Bye.
Bye. This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Tom.
Okay, so you want to tell him, or you want me to tell him?
No. I got this. People out there.
Yeah.
People, lean in. Get close. Listen, here's the deal.
We got big news.
We got monumental news. We got snacktacular news.
Yeah, after a brief hiatus, my good friend Michael Ian Black and I are coming back.
My good friend Tom Cavanaugh and I are coming back to do what we do best.
What we were put on this earth to do.
To pick a snack.
To eat a snack.
And to rate a snack.
Scientifically.
Emotionally.
Spiritually.
Mates is back.
Mike and Tom Eat Snacks is back.
A podcast for anyone with a mouth.
With a mouth. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi there, Fred Greenhalgh here, director of audio dramas like DC High Volume Batman and Star Trek Con. However, my one true love remains all things spooky, and I'm excited to say there's a new season of my horror podcast, Undertow. This season is called Familiar Haunts, standalone horror tales that reveal how the past is never truly gone, and humanity may be the most ruthless monster of them all. Here's a sample from the first episode about a man who returns to the house he grew up in after receiving a creepy voicemail from his mother. Let's hear it, shall we?
Mike, help me. I'm not alone in here. I'm not alone. She's walking. She's walking toward me.
Hear the rest by listening to Familiar Haunts, available on Undertow. Subscribe to Undertow wherever you get your podcasts, such as the app you're listening to me right now. In addition to the weekly releases of Familiar Haunts, we have 11 previous seasons with everything from werewolf tales to underwater monsters and creepy reincarnated twins. So get your spooky fix by subscribing to Undertow.
Welcome and enter if you dare. Hi, I'm Hallie Keeper.
And I'm Allison Leiby. And together, we're the hosts of Ruined, a scary movie podcast where Hallie tells me the grisly details of a haunting new horror film each week.
Whether you're a terror hound like me or a scaredy cat like Allison, we've got so many thrills, chills, and obviously kills to share with you in every episode.
It's the podcast that'll have you saying, that was so funny. I should not have listened to it at night with all the lights off.
From the greats like The Exorcist and Poltergeist to modern classics such as Hereditary and Get Out to the freakiest new releases like A Quiet Place and Terrifier, we ruin them all and we'll leave you howling, mostly from laughter, sometimes because you're turning into a werewolf.
Ooh. Listen along as I try and guess the movie's twist, predict who will survive, and answer the hardest question of all. What would you do?
So please listen to new episodes of Ruined every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And whatever you do, we're begging you, please
keep it spooky.